Here is the truth that more and more leaders are really waking up to. We are in an era of AI redefining the business success. And at the same time, we are invited to evolve from within as human beings. And more leaders are getting to that important and critical awareness that the outside reality in a business, in a relationship, in life, in career is nothing else than a mirror and projection or reflection of what's going on inside. And so if you've been trying to shift culture, elevate your team to the next level, transform your business, or reinvent your career and transition to a bigger role, and something is still off, then the place to look isn't out there, it's within. Hi, and welcome to the Extraordinary Leadership Podcast. My name is Dagmara Asperg. I am your host, founder of Extraordinary Leadership, transformational executive coach, and catalyst for leadership evolution. So let's explore the 7 inner forces that shape your leadership, your success and your impact, your level of fulfillment, and your results, whether you realize it or not. Number 1, the rational mind has limits. In a world of AI, complexity, and constant change, your thinking mind can no longer carry all. It has limitations. The rational mind is powerful, but it overthinks, it doubts, it burns energy in loops. And psychologists such as Daniel Kahneman explains in Thinking Fast and Slow that we operate through 2 systems. System number 1 is fast, intuitive, and energy efficient. And system number 2 is slow, effortful, and logical. Over-reliance on logic in today's volatile world leads to burnout, indecision, exhaustion, and staying in this analysis paralysis loop. It doesn't serve you as a leader and it doesn't serve your team. It slows down the decision taking and the speed of your business and your competitive advantage. So the truth is, your most powerful leadership tool aren't just your logic or rational thinking and that part of your mind. It's your intuition. It's your body intentions and wisdom. And it's your ability to tap into a higher mind or higher self, if you like. A deeper knowing within that when you unlocks gives you an enormous resourcefulness and wisdom and ease and peace and power into navigating the complex world that you, your team, your organization, your business is navigating in. So the more you access those inner resources, the more you're grounded, you're bold and compassionate and visionary. Number 2, 95% of your behavior is driven by subconscious autopilot. That's not a metaphor. It's a pure neuroscience. Dr. Bruce Lipton's research shows that up to 95% of your daily decisions and actions are driven by subconscious programming. So if you're trying to create extraordinary results from the 5% conscious mind, it's an uphill battle. It's constant forcing, constant pushing. It's very heavy. It's exhausting. Real transformation begins when you explore and evolve your subconscious patterns and habitual patterns, especially those ones that no longer serves your next level. And those subconscious patterns are deeply wired in your subconscious mind and body. This is where real transformation needs to happen for a true lasting change. Otherwise, all the efforts you take are just like tapping to a 5% processor and leaving the 95% processor completely untapped, unchanged. And that's the 95%, your subconscious programming, that actually is driving your behaviors, actions, thoughts, and emotions. So this is where identity shifts and emotional mastery and mindset rewiring really comes in on a subconscious level. Number 3, your beliefs shape your perception and the results. As Henry Ford once said, if you believe you can, if you believe you cannot, you are right. There is a power in these words, in this sentence, that directly transpire the truth, that your reality is expression of your beliefs. So what you believe determines how you see the world, how you lead, and what you allow yourself to experience. But there is the catch. Most of your beliefs weren't consciously chosen. They were absorbed very early on in your childhood, from family, from school, from culture, from also past experiences alongside your journey in leadership, and from perceptions that your mind has created along the way. And did you know that you have actually part of your brain, a reticular activating system, that is actually filtering reality through those beliefs that are running you today? So literally, that part in your brain is blocking out anything that contradicts what you believe in on subconscious level. It's like a filter. So imagine you and me, all of us, are seeing the reality, perceiving the world, any business team situation and the life situation through those filters of our brain. RAS. That part of the brain does this job. In other words, you don't see the whole reality. You don't see all information that are in front of you. You just have a very selective vision and perception. And based on that selective perception, filtered perception by your brain, driven by your beliefs, you actually take decisions and judgment and assumptions. So if very deep down in your subconscious you believe that you must always prove yourself, or people aren't to be trusted, or you can't trust people, or you need to work hard to be successful, you will act in ways that reinforce this belief, is in other words, in congruence with this belief, no matter how brilliant is your strategy or your vision. And so you are going to take actions that are in alignment, proving your belief, because that's what your brain wants and seeks, to prove that belief that it holds. And so this is why mindset work isn't just nice to have. It's really foundational in leadership. Because imagine if you don't, you're all the time perceiving situation, your business, your life, opportunities from a very limited lens. So the more you work on those beliefs deeper down in your subconscious, and the more you challenge them, you question them, you shift them, the more you expand, the more you see, and the more you can lead from empowered place and define your business, your life, your leadership in a completely new way that empowers you and supports the direction and vision of your business, organization, team, and life. Number 4, your thoughts trigger your emotions. Every thought you think triggers a chemical response in your body. According to Dr. Joe Dispenza, your body becomes addicted to the emotions of your thoughts, especially those wired in the past. So what happens when we are experiencing emotional trigger, kind of reliving the past experience, the similar narratives and emotions. And so that is why also so many times, if you would look into the emotions that you are mostly experiencing, you will observe patterns. And maybe you will observe that you are more often repeating being angry or being doubtful or being worried or being stressed, whatever it is, or maybe being more joyful, being more grateful, being more at ease. Those are just habitual, wired in your mind and body programs in ways your body actually has been conditioned to. So when you are triggered, you are usually reliving a past because you are reliving the emotion that is programmed and stored in your body that has not been processed, maybe has been suppressed. As we go along the life, or we avoid emotions to be focused, to move on with our business. That's at least what we believe will help us. But in hindsight, when we avoid and suppress these emotions, they are actually getting stored in our bodies. And not only they are at the source of many of the diseases, but they derail us, they rob us from energy, and they actually focus us. So they impact our concentration and productivity as leaders. And so releasing those stored emotions in the body, as well as getting equipped with emotional intelligence to shift emotions in the moment, is extremely important for navigating in this complex and full of triggers life. Number 5, saboteurs hijack your mind. Inside your brain are mental saboteurs, voices that distort your leadership and drain your energy. Narratives, or your inner narratives, that are playing in patterns. Shirzad Shamin, creator of Positive Intelligence, mapped 10 saboteurs: the judge, the hyperachiever, the controller, the avoider, just to name the few. And those saboteurs, those inner narratives and neural pathways wired in the brain are the roots of overworking, of imposter syndrome, of micromanagement, of avoiding conflict, of pleasing, and sabotaging your leadership, your career, your impact, your relationship, and well being. The good news is, once you recognize them, you can take the power back. As I call it, once you know the narratives, the patterns, how they show up, and have access to ways of shifting it, you take the driver's seat. You gain the power back and you develop a capability to not only recognize when they show up again, and they will do because they are part of you and part of me, but also you learn how to reduce their voice, how to reduce their influence, and listen better to your inner wisdom that is so much more resourceful, guiding you all the time and allowing you to really embrace difficult situations, important decisions and choices with so much more power, wisdom, and ease. Number 6, identity is the root of your leadership ceiling. One of the most profound shifts happened at the level of your identity because what you believe about who you are dictates what you allow yourself to do, to have, and to be, and dictates how you lead. James Clear in Atomic Habits said, true behavior change is identity change. If your inner identity says, I'm a strong executor but not a visionary leader, or I'm not the kind of leader who speaks up boldly, that becomes your reality. No matter your role or your intention or your vision, you always acting and behaving in congruence with who you believe you are. And so when you shift your identity from the inside out, you change how you walk into the room. Your energy shift. And you start to attract different people, different opportunities, different synchronicities in your business and life. And you create completely different results. So yes, identity shifts matters because your behaviors are always going to be in alignment and congruence with who you believe you are. And maybe it's time that you evolve it from within. Number 7, your communication and influence happen on subconscious level. You are not just communicating with words. They have 3% of impact. You are communicating with energy, with emotion, with a tone, with presence. Mirror neurons in our brain explain why we unconsciously mirror the emotional states of those around us. And you probably experienced it too. When people come with negative emotions and energy into a room, it kinds of lower down the vibration and frequency and dynamic of anybody else if you and others are not able to make boundaries and shift it. So if you are in a fear of frustration, your team feels it, even if your words sounds positive. If you are grounded, calm, expansive, they rise with you. Daniel Goleman calls this emotional contagion, and it's a core part of emotional intelligence and leadership. The better you regulate your inner state, the emotional state, energetic state, the more powerful your leadership becomes. Because in essence, that is also the driver of creating a psychological safe space or a worried and feared dynamic. And people will respond to those two emotions completely differently. And so in the first one, there will be much more collaboration, co-creation, and trust, versus in the other, there will be more resistance and hardships and silos and conflicts. And it all comes back to your emotional intelligence and emotional regulation and state embodiment. So your influence not just what people do, but how people feel and who they become around you. That is the power of leadership communication and influence. As we are closing this episode, I invite you to pause. I invite you to take a moment of breathing in and breathing out, slowing down, and asking yourself, what part of your inner world is ready to evolve, to unlock your next level of leadership, impact, fulfillment, success. Those 7 dimensions, 7 facets that I just walk you through are where transformation is taking place. Usually, when we are experiencing stuckness or something do not work out the way you want in business, in leadership, in life, in our career, or our strategy doesn't work, our vision do not come to reality as we wanted, this is the place to look into first. Because the moment you shift in any of those dimensions, you are truly able to really move forward into the direction that you really truly desire. You unlock your next level potential, your next level thinking, your next level energy, and you are so much more resourceful and wiser. This is what I could have seen in my own journey and what I witness in any of the leaders that I am having a pleasure to guide. And remember, this is not just personal development. This is the future of leadership. Upgrading, shifting, evolving in any of those 7 dimensions is a necessity for you as a leader to navigate in this fast changing, complex, and AI driven world. And that's where extraordinary leadership comes from. And if this episode resonates with you and you would like to evolve in your leadership, I always extend my invitation for a conversation and exploring which way of support and which of my programs can help you best to evolve to your next level. First of all, yourself, and of course, the result of it, your business, your organization, your career, and your life. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening until the end. It's an honor to be part of your leadership journey through that. And until next time, lead from within, lead boldly. And remember, extraordinary leadership comes from within.